There are tons of video games designed to provoke a sense of power for the player. Stoking the flames of fear, though, ordinarily it's game developers who are striving to scare us. But what if the tables were turned? Can a game be designed to invoke fear in enemies and NPCs make us feel powerful? Of course, it can, as the games on this rundown prove. The ability to strike fear into foes is amongst the most potent of power providers. Batman Arkham.
All the training, it meant nothing!
Arguably the most acclaimed of superhero games, Rocksteady's Arkham series absolutely nailed Gotham City's noir aesthetic, a dimly lit locale for Batman to stalk. See, Batman in Rocksteady's series is hard as nails, and one with the dark, with a tangible feeling of power over his enemies seeping into every nook of gameplay. The more enemies snatched into the shadows, the increasingly agitated and erratic those left straddling the light become. Scared enemies are unpredictable too. Some will cower together, others abandon their post. So distressed do enemies become that their minds wither and bodies shrink should Batman emerge.
Leave me alone, Batman! Please!
Infamous Second Son. The Infamous games all feature an in-depth karma system, whereby players can utilize their character's superpowers for good or for evil. Non-lethal tactics earn good karma, whereas, you guessed it, killing civilians and just generally being a self-centered villain earns evil karma. In Second Son, should player character Delsin explore the karmic dark side, civilians will begin to show wariness and distrust by berating and insulting him in public. Progress beyond Most Wanted infamy to evil infamous rank, and citizens will respond with genuine fear, either launching unprovoked attacks or running for their lives. Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor's Nemesis system was its principal selling point back in 2014. Owing to the system, Shadow of Mordor and its 2017 follow-up Shadow of War featured an intricate web of orc enemies who will remember their interactions with the player. Should an enemy orc live to fight another day, then they've the potential to rise through their ranks before confidently leading a charge when encountered again. Or, funnily enough, overpower them in battle, or char them with fire, or defeat their captain before their very eyes, and they'll likely retreat in cowardice come the next time they see you on the battlefield. Days Gone. Newts in Days Gone are freakers. As a result, they're skittish and naturally lacking enough confidence to attack Deacon head-on, even when massively outnumbering him. Instead, they'll cower in his flashlight, scampering for cover off-ground, sinking into corners and crannies out of sight. Just a mere glimpse of Deacon in their sights and they'll scurry off like exposed ants under a lifted rock, ready to regroup for a potential counterattack, but only when Deacon's back is turned. Sleeping Dogs. Much like the Nemesis system in Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, underappreciated martial arts-infused open-worlder Sleeping Dogs features a triplet of nifty reputation systems. Of the game's 3 XP meters, Triad, Police, and Face XP, it's maxing out Face XP that'll strike fear into Wei Shen's enemies. Accumulating Face XP during brawls is simple enough, just fight with extreme brutality. Leg breaks are standard enough, but utilizing the environment, from stuffing heads into whirring air conditioner blades to hanging foes on meat hooks, really ramps up the experience points. Once Wei starts regenerating health, weak and unsure enemies will jolt backwards in fear, showcasing Wei's ability to break their mind power as well as their bones. Ghost of Tsushima. Jin Sakai's arsenal of war-ready techniques in Ghost of Tsushima includes a handful of combat stances. Different stances are useful against certain enemy subtypes, but it's Jin's ghost stance that'll root the island's Mongol invaders firmly to the spot. An ability obtained once the powerful Mongol leader General Temuge is defeated, Jin's deadly ghost stance can be activated after a 7-kill combo, daubing the screen in moody black and white as Jin himself transforms to an unrelenting warrior, rendering the remainder of opposing enemies motionless as if transfixed by fear. Elsewhere on the picturesque island of Tsushima, opposing forces, after learning of Jin's notoriety, start to herd in groups, truly believing safety in numbers is the best tactic to avoid dying by Jin's blade. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Jedi power fantasy Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order features a deep, punishing combat system, complete with enthralling lightsaber maneuvers and Force powers. Effectively learn the ways of the Force, and Jedi in training Cal Kestis will soon be gobbling up groups of stormtroopers, who, on first encounter, exude confidence before quickly seeing their self-assuredness evaporate in a cloud of blaster smoke. Cal's bag of tricks, from rapid-fire blocks and dodges to well-placed blaster deflections, sees him seamlessly wipe out foes one by one like poetry in motion. Before the last stormtrooper's downed, however, shrieks of "He'll kill us all" or "Please for mercy" ring through. Metro Exodus. Unlike most first-person shooters out there, Metro Exodus poses to players the question of how to deal with an enemy who surrenders. Yes, players' gun-toting rampages through nuclear wilderness lays waste to so many enemies that of the ones who do survive, they'd sooner raise their hands in fear than fight back. Of course, Exodus's subsurface morality system and the corresponding quest to carry Artyom through to the good ending suggests sparing lives wherever possible. Still, there are feelings of immense power to be felt when pointing a gun at an enemy's raised arms. Dishonored 2. First-person stealth adventure Dishonored 2 bestows a bevy of choice on players as they fulfill the role of supernatural assassin. Remaining unseen throughout is a valid option, sure, but the raft of civilian NPCs and enemy types are just too fun to mess with that it'd be foolish to stay within the shadows. When revealed to civilian bystanders, they might not immediately run for help unless the player starts a scrap, in which case they'll dash for the nearest guard to alert them. When fighting out in the open, players can utilize Dishonored 2's gruesome combat system. Scythe enemies in two, or brutally disembowel them, and any surviving squad members will nope out of there faster than a greyhound out of the blocks. Arcane Studios have added fantastic attention to detail here too. Some guards will become so panicked that they'll trip up over themselves as they attempt to flee. Rain World. Rain World's playable slug cat struggles for survival in a hostile ecosystem populated by terrifying creatures, all vying for food chain supremacy. At the apex is the game's vultures, whose hardened mask blocks any spear damage Slugcat can muster. The trick is to demask them when they're already dead, as they'll become rampant with rage should their defenses be stripped away. The risk is worth the yield for Slugcat though, seeing as vultures are deemed the most fearsome predators amongst all the lowly animals competing in the game's derelict biomes, including its most common lizard enemies. Should Slugcat get its paws on a vulture mask, it can wear it as a disguise, tricking the lizards into retreating out of Slugcat's way. And with that, we've reached the end of this video. Have anything to say? Let us know in the comments below. Also, we upload new videos every single day on Gaming Bolt, so please consider subscribing, as it really helps us out. Thanks for watching.